All right, guys, these next 2 days we're going to practice writing the equation of a line. Okay, there are 3 ways this could be given to you. You could be given a graph, like on this first example. You could be given 2 points, like the second example. Or you could be given a table of values, like this third example. The bottom line is they're all the same. You're going to do them all the same way. All right? All you need is 2 points to write an equation. They may give you more points, but you only need 2. Right? This is our general form of an equation. Y equals mx plus b, right? That's our slope-intercept form, where m is the slope and b is your y-intercept. Okay? We did practice doing slope the last 2 days. Remember, slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so if you look at number 1, we're going to write the equation of this line. All right, all you need is 2 points. If you look, they gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, but you really only need 2 of them. So I'm going to pick these 2 points to get the slope. All right, so if you notice, it's going up 3 and over 2, right? Left to right, it's going up. So our slope is 3 over 2. The other thing we need to know is our y-intercept, our b, which is right here. That's positive 2. So our equation, y equals 3 over 2x plus 2. It's that simple. Now, when they give you coordinates, though, it's going to be a little trickier. So let's look at number 2. All right? We want to find the equation of the line that passes through these points that they gave us. Okay? My first recommendation, rewrite the points above each other so that the x's line up and the y's line up. Or you could write it like a table of values. All right? The first thing we need to do, we need 2 things. We need the slope and we need the y-intercept. So first thing you got to do always, find the slope. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Remember, when you write these coordinates, the first number is the x, the second number is the y. So I'm going to subtract my y's. 17 minus 5 over 5 minus 2. And we're going to get 12 over 3, which is 4. Then what we need to do is plug this back into y equals mx plus b. And we need to pick one of the points. You could pick either point. I'm going to pick the first one, 2, 5. 2 is our x, 5 is our y, and 4 that we got for the slope is m. And we're going to plug in for x, y, and m. All right, so y equals mx plus b. The y is 5. And that equals m. So m is 4. So I plugged 5 in for y. I'm going to plug 4 in for m. Then I'm going to plug in 2 for the x. Now the only thing we're missing, b. So we're going to solve for b. We plugged 5 in for the y, 4 in for m, and 2 in for x, and now we solve. We're going to do 4 times 2 is 8. Then we're going to subtract 8 to get b by itself. 5 minus 8 is negative 3, which is equal to b. So we know our slope, which is 4. We know our y-intercept, which is negative 3. So y equals 4x minus 3. Remember, this is m, and this is b. All right? I'm going to do another example for you. Again, I would write these points vertically or write it in table form. Negative 2, 5, 2, 3. All right, first thing we got to do is find our slope. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to go this way. 5 minus 3 over negative 2 minus 2. So I'm going to get 2 over negative 4. And if I reduce that negative 1/2. All right, which if you use the fraction button in the calculator, it'll convert it to a fraction in simplest form. Then we're going to go y equals mx plus b. I would use the second point, 2, 3. Remember that 2 is x, 3 is y, and m is negative 1/2. If you want to change it to a decimal for this, it's negative 0.5. All right, and we plug in. We're going to plug in for y. So y is 3. We're going to plug in for for m, which is negative 0.5. We're going to plug in 2 for the x. Now we have an equation with just b. We're going to solve for b. All right, so we're going to multiply negative 0.5 times 2. That's going to be negative 1. We're going to solve for b, so we got to cancel out this minus 1. So we're going to add 1. And we're going to get 4 is equal to b. Then we go back to y equals mx plus b. Y equals m, which is the slope, which was negative 1/2 x, plus b. B is 4 plus 4. That's our equation. All right? All right, I'm going to do one now with the table of values. All right? And then they're all similar to one of these three. All right? We're going to look at number 3. All right? We want to write the equation on the line based on the given table of values. All right? Here's the thing. You only need 2 points. So you can pick any 2 of these points you want. Let's say you want to use these 2. We're going to find our slope. All right? Remember, slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right? So it's going to be 14 minus 10 over 4 minus 2, which is 4 over 2, which is 2. This is our m. Then we're going to plug in. But you may notice you don't have to plug in here because they gave us the y-intercept. The y-intercept is when x is 0. So there's no need to plug in here. So our y-intercept is 6. So y equals 2x plus 6. All right? I want to do one more example with you because it's going to be slightly different. So let's look at number 6. Okay? The difference between 6 and 3 is on number 3. They gave us the y-intercept. They gave us when x was 0. On number 6, they did not. So we're going to do number 6 like we did the 2 on the front. All right? First, you got to get your slope. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, I'm going to use the first 2 points. So I'm going to do 10 minus 5 over 1 minus 2. Make sure you're going in the same order. So you're going to get 5 over negative 1, which is going to be just negative 5. Now, you could do one of 2 things. You could extend the table back if you wanted to. You go 3, 2, 1, 0. That would be our y-intercept. It's going in this direction. It's going up by 5. 0, 5, 10, 15. And you could use that to get your y-intercept. If you're not sure about that, you're not confident about that, you can go back to mx plus b. Pick a point. We'll pick this point, 2, 5. You plug in 5 for your y. Plug in negative 5 for your m. Plug in 2 for your x. And solve for b. You could always do this whether you get the table or the coordinates like on the front page. All right, we're going to multiply. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Add the 10 over. And you get 15 equals b. So our equation y equals negative 5x plus 15. All right? First thing you got to do, get the slope. Then you plug in for y, your slope, and your x. And then you find your b. And then last but not least, write your equation. All right? Try these examples. All right? We're going to have a little quiz on Friday. Talk to you soon.